Howdy folks. It is a lovely day where I can finally get outside, and lovely I'm really using sparingly because it's going to thunderstorm at any damn minute, but I'm trying to find somewhere to go fishing because everything's flooded, because after all the snow started melting off and now it's going to be raining and has been for like 3 days, so everything's just rip-roaring. And I was down at the Conway Spillway where it's just too damn full, and to just see how flooded it got. Check this out. This is up on the road. There's the lake. There's everything ripping and flooding down there. My camera's all blurry. That's better. Look at this. All the way up on the road, stranded from the floodwaters, this massive bowfin. It's a pretty big thing. Cool fish, awesome predator, gnarly teeth. He's got the blue all around his mouth, which means that they're in spawning mode apparently. But it looks like one of these guys is giving up on the bridge, so I'm gonna get my car out of here and we're gonna go try to find somewhere to fish. All right, not in such a rush now I can do an actual intro, but yeah, we got done with all the snow and stuff here. We got like 13, 14 inches of it, and you know, below freezing temperatures for an entire week, so no fishing done there. And then it got up to, it was 70 for like 2 days right after the snow. It was ridiculous. But all the water was still frozen over on top, so no fishing there. And now it's been raining for the past like week, and I can't fish, and there's a break in the rain this morning. And everything's flooded. So I'm at Lake Conway, and I'm a ways up from the spillway now, but here's bits of the lake. And I'm gonna try, see if I can catch some sort of bait around in this area, I guess, or maybe try to find my way up to the bridge that's over there. I'm gonna try to make something happen. We're gonna start fishing small, try to catch bait, throw out a tight line, because that bowfin kind of got me excited, because that was a good sized bowfin, and now I want to try to catch something like that. But we'll also throw around maybe some bass lures or something. I have no idea how this water is, how the fish are acting, but it's pretty warm right now. What's that water? Water is still cold as crap. That's like water right out from under the dam. So these fish are gonna be sluggish. So not too hopeful, but I don't care. It's windy, not ideal conditions, but I need to get fishing, and you know, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, see what we can do here. We're gonna start off, tiny rod, tiny little lure. I've been using these a lot over the winter. They've been doing pretty well. So I'm gonna keep it up for now. See if we can find something. Seems like the water's a little bit deep here, so there's definitely some structure in it. But there's also a lot of wind right now. And the water's not the clearest because of the chop and all the rain. So who knows what's gonna happen. Well, that sucks. Where did it go? It hit me. Where did it fall? Well, this is a mess. I got line going around my shoulder. I got smacked in the arm with the lure. No idea where that went. All right, we're off to a good start so far. Oh, you wrapped around this thing? Yeah, all right. Recovered. Spot kind of sucks a little. Wonder if I can get across the road over to the bridge, because I can see there's not really any access over here. But it looks like people walk around up here. Well, looks like there's something. See if there's a little trail right here next to the road. Let's see if it goes over to the bridge, because like I feel like under the bridge would be a deeper area where fish would want to hang out. You know, they got the pylons and such. I don't know. I just make this up as I go and hope for the best. Oh yeah, I can get down right here. Cool. Apparently a lot of people come down here to throw their trash everywhere. What was that? That was a large splash. Oh, probably one of those birds. Maybe I just cast into the wind. Let's move out here. Brave the slippery rocks. Look at all of this freaking... This is like all fishing trash too. This is all just random worm cases. It's ridiculous. Casting into the wind, definitely a help. Man, people must fish here a lot. Because on top of all of this, if you look up at the power line, it is just full of bobbers and rigs. People need to learn not to cast overhead when there's things above you. Oh, my line on that branch, yep. Sucked me right into it. Well, it's maybe a trip back to the car. No, came out. What the hell? That was weird. I was stuck on something in the air. How'd my hook do? Yeah, hook's a little bent out. Got my pliers somewhere, I think. Sure hope I do. Yeah. Bend that back down. Good enough. There's something in the air. I think there's some other fishing line. There's fishing line that I'm getting caught on up there, and it's coming from the lines up there on the power poles down and tangled up onto that stump. Ridiculous the amount of trash around here. Alright, this spot's bust. It's awful. I don't like it. It's full of trash. Nothing's biting. There's snags like in the sky. There's some large dead thing down in the water there. I don't know. That's a bird. Right about there-ish. Yeah, just not great. Okay, so let's see if we can find somewhere else to go, I guess. Only got like 3 hours until this rain's supposed to kick off. We'll see if we can figure something out. Catch at least one fish today. All right, we have found us a new spot. Well, new today. I've been here quite a bit before, but I never film much here because I never have a ton of luck. But I'm down at Burns Park. It's a golf course off the river. And it's actually the river to fish too, but our goal first is we're gonna fish in the golf course, maybe catch some sunfish, because they should be easy to catch and localized in tiny ponds. And if I catch maybe one or two that are, you know, kind of small, or, you know, I really feel like it, I might keep them, and we might go to the river, try to catch larger fish with some either live bait or fresh cut bait. We'll see how I'm feeling, but I got stuff that I can make that happen. So we're gonna start off here, search through all this muddy mess, and see what we can make happen. All right, I switched out my rods. I've got the 5-foot ultralight now. Still using the same lure though. Our little grub. Oop, that was a frog. Some turtles. Little grub on a 1/32 ounce weight. I did change the color of the head though, but I get a little bit better cast on the ultralight, and I think I might need the extra length to get around some of the weeds and stuff here. Not sure. There's a ton of surface movement over here. Not fully sure what's causing it all. Maybe it's water bugs. I'll tell you what it ain't. Fish that want to eat. Honestly, really shocked to encounter no fish so far. I guess we'll go try the other pond. See if this pond's got any fish in it. I mean, I know they both do. I just don't know why they don't want to bite. Could just be my lure. Could be an awful lure. Not really great for dirty water. I don't really got any other colors because I lost them all like the day after I bought them. Left them at a creek. Let's try running it by this running water here. Fish like running water. Oh, I got one. Oh, I had one. There was a little tiny one on there. I could barely feel him. That would have been perfect live bait size. Oh, now I'm snagged up in there. Damn it. Little bitty tiny thing on there. Although, I think legally, to keep them for live bait, they have to be 3 inches. Now, I have a measuring doodad on me at the moment, but I know from my wonderful time in the military that the size of a credit card is just about 3 inches. Oh, that was a fish. So, they're a little bit longer than my credit card, driver's license, and one of my various IDs. They should be good to keep. There we go. Ha ha! This is a bluegill. Decent sized mouth on him, lots of spines up here. Actually, this is a green sunfish. And I'm telling that different from a bluegill because he's very orange down here, which bluegill also kind of have, but they're not this orange. He's also got, you can see the tip of his fin here, got these white stripes on him. Plus, his mouth is rather large. See? I can get my whole finger in there. You can do that. Ooh, look, he's a little dinged up. Now, this is a fish that I could keep and use for bait, but I appreciate him for being the first fish that I have caught in weeks, so he gets to live. They're hitting real light. If I had the little dock demon, I could probably feel it better because it's so short. But even with this ultralight, it's a bit of a challenge. There we go. Nope, nope, come back. We must admire and identify you. Stop it. Ow! Spiny little bastards. Ugh. This one, same thing. Green sunfish, all because of the orange with the white on the fin right there. Mouth, it's actually kind of small for a green sunfish that would be this size. I think it might be they're hybridizing with the bluegill in there because he's got bluegill colors. And normally a green sunfish would have these really defined blue stripes down their gills. For oddly enough, bluegill don't have that for some reason. But it's a bluegill color pattern more, but he's got the green sunfish bottom fins here with the white and the orange. And the spikes, although they all have that. So I'm not sure. They could be a hybrid. If I catch a bluegill, I'll decide they're a straight bluegill. I'll decide if it's an actual hybrid. But for now, we'll figure it out later. Try running the lure from the opposite direction, because sometimes that makes a difference. Just whichever way. Oop, I don't know if I brushed a plant or if that was a fish. But it makes a difference sometimes, especially if you've been throwing it from the same direction over and over again. They get used to seeing it. You change direction, it tricks them. I think I keep brushing up against plant life. I'm gonna run it right in front of this pipe. Anything in the pipe? No. So, if you find a pipe like this, it's kind of underwater, especially when it's been cold out. There's a good chance there might be some fish in it, even though that one's not super submerged, just because that black plastic is gonna hold a lot of heat on it. And that's gonna transfer into the water. So the water right around it may be warmed up, and the fish are gonna appreciate that. There's one. Ha! What? Yeah, still that same color pattern with the real orange here and a little bit of white. I'm just gonna say these guys are green sunfish. I haven't caught an actual bluegill. But this guy's coming with me. We're gonna take him down to the actual river, and he's gonna be some bait. And I think that's how we'll spend our day till the rain gets here. Waiting on a catfish or a bowfin or a drum or something to come eat this. All right, we have moved on from the golf course and we've just gone down the road a little bit to the actual Arkansas River. So, see here, that's the Arkansas River. There's a little inlet channel. And over here is like a retention pond. This thing will flood up. This will all be underwater all the way up here. And then this stays full and fish get stuck in it. So, I know there's some tiny white bass in there that I've seen popping around. I've got to figure there's gar, bowfin, drum, something like that in there. So I'm gonna throw out a tight line with some fish bits on it because I'm gonna cut him up soon. And I'm gonna probably throw out a bobber rig with some as well because those gar kind of like to stay mid to higher level. And I've got something here that I've recently purchased that'll help me with all of that. This is the Googan bucket. Now, generally, I've done some Googan squad stuff before and talked about them, and I always say that frankly, they're overpriced. It is quality stuff, but it's more expensive than I want to pay for fishing lures because, you know, you lose all of them. So this one is actually kind of a deal though. So 32 pieces, it comes with all this stuff in here. 32 is kind of an exaggeration. I mean, it's the accurate amount, but it counts like every little fishing hook and weight and stuff. But this actually, sorry. It's like, it's 35 bucks and it's actually a decent deal for what you get in it. So if we take a look at our little picture here, you get a glove for holding fish so you don't get stabbed like I did earlier, little cutting board, knife, fish grippers, stringer, braid cutter, pliers. It even comes, the lid has little hatches on it, so like a top hatch to hold worms in, a thing to get the fish out, and it comes with an aerator, little tackle set, and a rag for the fish. And apparently, if you look here, where's that at? Oh, there we go. There's a little measuring board on it. So I mean, for 35 bucks, that's honestly a decent deal, and it's almost everything you need. The only thing it's missing is a scale, and I know they sell scales separately, but I mean, you don't have to have a scale, but like this little bucket, if you just buy this, you're good to like go out and do stuff. So I bought one, even though I have pretty much everything in there except the rag, the cutting board, and the glove. I buy stupid things that I don't need all the time, and when it comes to fishing stuff. So I've got the fish in there. I'm gonna take that and some of its stuff, and I'm gonna walk around the edges here and over onto those sandbar there, and I'm gonna take a look at the big river, but I think I'm gonna fish in this because I know fish are kind of stuck in here. So that's the plan, and I think that's how I'm gonna waste the next hour or two until the rain starts. So let's go do that. I decided to start in the main river because the current doesn't seem too bad. I don't have my big heavy weights and heavy rods with me, so I've got a little 1/4 ounce weight on there. We'll see if it works. I tied on my fish head. Yeah, I don't look too happy. But we're also trying out a new Ugly Stik reel. Ugly Stik makes reels now, so of course I had to get one. And I've never caught a fish on it. I've never really hardly used it. My line is spooled on like crap, but hopefully with a few casts we can fix that up. So we'll just whip that out there. Oh yeah, that seems all right. We'll see if the current's too much. How's my drag here? A little tight. Doesn't really click. That should work. All right, I'm gonna prop this up on a rock, and I'm only gonna use one pole right now because, unbeknownst to me at the time, both of my poles were catfish rigged, and that one's got braid on it, and that's a lot harder to change if it gets snagged up. So we're gonna leave that be, and if this one gets snagged up and breaks off, we can switch it to a bobber rig. But now we're just gonna hang out and wait. Let's see if I can tighten my line up. It's really moving down the river though. This current may be a bit much. Current is definitely too much. It dragged my bait just right up against the shoreline, and rain is now starting to fall. So we are just gonna move into the spot I originally wanted to fish, because I have better hopes for it. There's no current in it, and if I'm gonna sit and get wet, I'm gonna do it in a spot where I feel like I have a better shot. Made myself a little rod prop here. Got some of these sticks, which seem to be beaver chewed, which makes sense, I guess. Maybe muskrat, but made him a little X. Yeah, get on out there. And we can just take our rod, lay it across it. Let's see, tighten her up. A tight line is important when you are tight lining. There we go. It's not super tight, but it's hard to get it so tight. I think it's because it's real shallow. Not a lot of downward movement. I'm just gonna call that good enough. You know, let's set up another one. Why not have two out there? A little plopper. Ugh. Little popper someone lost out here. It's absolute garbage condition, rusted, broken hook. I mean, I could switch the hooks out and it'd probably be good to go. Paint's all jacked up. Got a nice little rattle in it. We'll just toss that over with the bucket or on our rod, whatever. But let's find us some more sticks. Like if I take these two sticks, put one down in the dirt. Luckily it's a real soft sandy bottom. This one down that way. Not the most stout, but I mean, I'll hold a rod up. Probably should have got taller ones. Now we cut up another hunk of fish. I'm gonna go smaller on this one because that fish head's pretty big. Get our knife, get our handy cutting board. Well, bam. And I left my fish on a rock over there. There's these little stumps everywhere from these beavers cutting all this stuff, and it is just, I keep stepping on them and tripping. Where'd I leave that fish? More over there, I think. Where's I hanging out at? There it is. Come here, buddy. Ow, for being dead, he sure did spine me good. This one has I think it's still a 1/4 ounce, but it's a slip weight. So this will just move on freely on there. And then the fish won't feel the weight when it takes the hook, which is beneficial, I think, to getting them to hold on. Oh yeah. And it goes out way farther on a medium light with braid. Well, it's been about 40 minutes here. Nothing's really biting. I don't know if big fish just don't get caught in here like I had hoped, or if I just suck, or if it's because the water's cold. You never know. But I got about an hour until I need to leave to beat the storms home. So we fished over that way on the other side of the hill in the river. We have fished in here. We have not fished over there by the Jeep in that little place I first showed you and pointed at the river, where it's a little inlet with, like, there's not really any current in there, so maybe there's some fish hanging out there, but I know it's real rocky. But I have caught bass in there before. So I mean, gonna be hit or miss, I think, but I'm gonna walk over there by the Jeep and we'll throw out lines again, and I'm gonna give it another 40 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna be frustrated and go home, but still be happy that we got outside. Now we're over here. This area, I know it's deeper water. I know it runs directly, connects into the river, so fish can move freely in and out of here. I got my rod set up in a root. Can't seem to keep the line very tight, but we'll deal with that. And now I'm gonna give this another 40 minutes or so, and then we're gonna give up. Well, I was going to the Jeep to get a rod to kind of throw around here to keep myself from being too bored, because the tie lining ain't going nowhere. And it turns out I lost my keys somewhere. I usually just have them dangling out of my pocket here, and they're not there, and the Jeep is locked. So we're stranded here, and I'm gonna go try to find my keys, and you know what, I'm just gonna leave this rod here because I don't have high expectations for it, but we'll see what happens with it. And hopefully we can find our keys. If not, I'm gonna be getting wet while I try to find a ride in a tow truck to get rekeyed, which is gonna be awful. Going for a walk here. Got to retrace like everywhere I've walked to figure out what this is. And the wind is kicking up. That'll be great for audio. I'm just gonna turn this off, I guess. Small update. Been about 30 minutes. Have not found my keys. So I got desperate enough that I text my friend Amanda, who lives not too far from my house. And I was expecting her, you know, come get me and hang out while we wait for a tow truck so I could rekey this thing. But she reminded me, I have a spare key that I put in a drawer 3 years ago and have never thought about since. So she's going to get my spare key and bring it to me. So not all is lost. Still pretty pissed off that I lost my keys because they have my house key on it. Luckily there's a different way for me to get in than needing the house key. But yeah, not ideal. Still searching, still hoping to find it. But I think we may have to give up. Well, still no car keys, but the rain's starting. So that's cool, I guess. This was such a good day to start with. I found them. I did it. I found them. They fell out. Right here, laying in the leaves where they were kind of kicked over and buried a bit. I must have stumbled on something and dropped them out, or maybe they got caught on this thing and tumbled out. I don't know. Why am I turning the camera? I don't know. But I found my keys, and I'm gonna get the hell out of here because fishing sucks. No, I dropped my keys again, but I found them again. So we're happy now. So we're gonna leave, and yeah, I at least caught some fish today. So there's that. We recovered from our distressing moment, and now I'm gonna go home and make something to eat and probably play video games. But yeah.